But before that, concerns about boys locked up in their cells for up to 22 hours a day at Feltham Young Offenders Institution. The issue's been raised in an annual report out today by the watchdog. Our correspondent Carl Mercer has the details.
This is Feltham Young Offenders, home to around 100 young men, and the subject of another report today criticising conditions inside. The thing about this report is we've heard much of it before, and that, say, the Independent Monitoring Board is disappointing. While they praise the efforts of staff here, they point to the fact that many of the young men here are in their cells for 22 hours of what they call bang up every day. The report highlights many of the issues here, talking about
vicious circle of little time out room, increased violence and staff absence. Entire units are getting less than 2 hours out of their rooms some days, even in the week. Staff sickness levels tend to be high, particularly at times of school holidays.
Most boys on most days are behind their doors for long hours, and they're not coming out enough for proper, meaningful rehabilitation. There's a government target of 15 hours a week per child for education, and there's not a single child at Feltham who's being offered that, and that's been the case for a long time.
The report goes on. Weapons are found here every month. There were 50 last August. Every month sees at least 20. No month saw fewer than 19 violent incidents, and in 2 months it was over 40.
I don't think there's really very much at Feltham other than kind of goodwill and hard work of staff and governors that really is going well. It's not a suitable site. Children are locked up for too long. They don't get the education that they need. There are high levels of violence. It's one of the most violent places in the country, and there's not provision to support them. And I mean, ultimately, these are young offenders institutions are unfit for purpose.
She, like others today, have called for Feltham to be closed down.
Year on year, report after report, we see the same issues, and that's because they're systemic. And what we really need to see is, rather than improvement plans and roadmaps to effective practice that tinker around the edges, we need to recognise that these are institutions that aren't fit for purpose and they're beyond reform and therefore need closing.
In a statement, the Ministry of Justice told us that Feltham's governors are taking action to boost staffing, and increased support, they say, would improve education and time out of cells for young offenders. Carl Mercer, BBC London.